Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks! What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my newest knife acquisition. Gosh, I've really been acquiring things at kind of an alarming rate here, but I really felt like I needed one of these in my collection, so yeah, I went ahead and got it. Thanks so much to my generous patrons who are supporting me right now. There's a link for Patreon right down below, and please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. Okay, so I've already been in here, sorry. But I'm going to open this up again anyway. It's definitely a knife that I've shown on the channel, definitely a knife that I've reviewed. This is a Microtech Ultratech. And by the way, these are very available right now. I will link the Microtech Ultratech right down in the description so that you can go and check out the vast array of different colors and different styles and things that you can pick up. This knife is one of the best available values for a USA-made automatic knife. It is not a new knife like everybody knows about the Ultratech. If you've never owned one, I'm sure you're aware of it, right? Compared to its direct competition, we're talking true US-made EDC-sized OTF automatic knives. We're looking at the Manticore Heretic E and, of course, the Guardian Tactical Recon 35. All of them have pros and cons. I've owned, two Ultratechs now. I've owned the Recon 35. I've not owned a Manticore E, but I can't, rule that out for the future. I used to own this exact version, except it was bronze. And I like the bronze a lot. In fact, I recommend that. But I decided to go with just a standard tumbled blade. This guy came in M390. Why? Well, I'll bring some other Microtechs out that I own and one that I don't. I love my Microtechs. I don't carry my Hellhound. Just get them out for size comparison. I do carry the Scarab sometimes. Well, I carry the Hellhound sometimes. I just don't really use it. I do carry and use the Scarab. You can see here, what we're looking at for size. By the way, the overall length handle is about 8 inches, maybe 8 1/4 if you want to count the glass breaker. 3.3-inch blade, something like that. These guys are fun, but they're huge. The Microtech Ultratech makes a lot more sense to me. It's a little thinner. It's kind of like the Benchmade 940 of automatic knives. Obviously, these are going to be illegal in some places, so you definitely want to check your local laws. Yeah, I just thought, as much as I love to carry an EDC, an OTF, this just makes a little bit more sense. I just realized, have the Microtech Hera out here to show. This is the new Microtech Hera. So let's do a size comparison so you can see. The Ultratech is definitely longer than the Hera and definitely thinner in the handle. So yeah, I just really wanted to be able to EDC an Ultratech whenever I wanted to, and I went with something plain Jane, just so that it wasn't so flashy that I wasn't like, oh, do I want to mess up the finish or the... I didn't really want to mess around with that. I just wanted to be able to EDC something without worrying about it. I also did not go with a dual edge on this guy, and that's because periodically I do tasks where I want to be able to put my thumb on the back of the blade, which you can't do if there's an edge on both sides, even though you do gain the benefit of essentially doubling your edge retention. These come in at about $290, and yeah, I know they used to be a lot less expensive. I remember when Ultratechs were something like $250, $260, but that was years ago, right? So they've come up from them, and they're still very competitively priced. I didn't really have a problem paying $290 or so. Bought this one on DLT. They're pretty plentiful. I think they're also plentiful on Blade HQ and GP Knives and various other retailers. I'll link as many options as I possibly can, but I've actually carried this. You guys are getting this video a day after I got it. I carried it all day yesterday and just really enjoyed it. What I've found is that, switching from kind of like my jeans to my lounge around pants, the nice thing about the Ultratech is that it weighs, well, it doesn't weigh very much. This isn't a review. If you guys want to go check out my full comprehensive review of this knife, you can. It's still up. It's just old. The weight on the Ultratech is 3.5 ounces, right? Half an ounce from what I consider to be ultra lightweight on this channel. So yeah, it carries really, really easily. We'll go ahead and measure it for you guys. There you go. You're looking at 8 inches to the handle, 8 1/4 to the glass breaker. Blade is about 3.3 with, 3 1/8 on the cutting edge. It's just great. Not anything ultra mega slicey, right? But the blade stock thickness isn't incredibly robust, and the edge is definitely done well. This also has, of the smaller, it's still a full-size knife, but of the smaller, less expensive Microtechs, and that includes like the UTX 85, UTX 75, and the Troodon. This has the more satisfying action. These seem to fire a little bit harder, closer to what I'm getting in the Combat Troodon. That definitely fires harder, and truthfully, it's nowhere near the Scarab, but nobody really needs that much firing power in an OTF, right? And it feels about the same as the Hera. And that's acceptable to me. I want it to be able to fire out. When you get these, and I mean fire out like with enough force to where I feel like after I've carried it for a little bit, if I get some pocket lint in there, it's not going to slow it down and misfire it. When you get these, what you're going to notice is, wow, it's so stiff. It's not fun to deploy because, oh my gosh, it's so hard to push it. It looks more like this, right? Here's how you fix that. It's real easy. The first thing that I do with a brand new OTF, unless it's a Guardian Tactical because they have the bearing switches, I just take a little bit of brake-free CLP. Not in here. You don't want brake-free in there. 1 drop right there on the switch, and it's like magic, right? It's just an excess. It's just friction from that area being dry. To oil the blades, that's like I always say, Rem oil. That is, as far as I know, what Microtech uses at the factory, and that'll keep it functioning the way that it's supposed to function for a very, very, very long time. But yeah, I still very much recommend the Ultratech, and even though it's a knife that I've talked about many times over, I think it's a good knife to have here on the channel for comparison because so many people are so familiar with it. It's kind of like Microtech's Benchmade Bug Out, right? It's such a flagship model from Microtech. Everybody is so familiar with it. So I think it might be a good idea to have it for a size comparison with future OTF knives that I review. And just for general EDC. I've come to enjoy this size of knife, and the Ultratech just has a really great place. I might take that glass breaker off the back and just add one of those aftermarket screws because I don't know that I'll ever use it, and it's kind of, to me, it's a little bit of an eyesore, but, you know, whatever. But anyways, yeah, I'll link the Ultratech down below so you guys can check it out. They, of course, have Tanto, and they've got Dagger, and they've got Drop Point, and there's various other, you know, I think a couple other grinds. They've got as many colors as you could imagine. Two-tone finishes, apocalyptic finishes, bronze finishes, satin finishes, stonewash, right? Lots and lots and lots of stuff available. If you have not experienced the Ultratech, it is extremely recommendable. And this one came perfect. I have no issues with it whatsoever. It really is great. The only thing that sucks is it's using the proprietary tri-wing screws. I really wish that they would do an updated version of the Ultratech with some torque screws like they did the Scarab, but I suppose we'll see what the future holds for the Ultratech. That's pretty much it. I just wanted to share this with you guys and let you know my reasoning behind purchasing an Ultratech. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.